Assalamu alaikum, parents and students. Welcome to another week of distance learning. Our subject for today is science, and we will be continuing with our topic of water and weather. Parents, please make sure you check the attached online learning lesson plan, as well as the book pages and answer key. In the lesson plan, you will find the lesson overview, the success criteria, as well as the learning steps, assignments, and the resources. Students can also self-assess. After they finish the book pages, they can check the answer key to self-assess. Alrighty, so let's get started with our presentation for today. At the beginning, we are going to go over the learning intention. So we are going to be able to explain how water moves from state to state in the water cycle. Here are the links to the lesson tutorial. Please make sure you check those out and then come back to continue with me. Here are the vocabulary terms that you should already know from last week. Number 1 is atmosphere. Number 2 is weather. 3, humidity. 4, water cycle. 5, evaporation. 6, condensation. And 7 is precipitation. Let's review. So atmosphere is the blanket of air that wraps around the planet. Weather is the condition of the atmosphere at a particular time and place. Humidity is how much water vapor is in the atmosphere. Humidity and temperature, they affect each other. The water cycle means the movement of water on Earth, and there are parts to the water cycle process. The first part is evaporation. Evaporation is when water changes from liquid to gas. Condensation is when water changes from gas to liquid. Precipitation is when water leaves the clouds and comes down to Earth. Now, how does precipitation form? Let's think. When water vapor interacts with the different conditions in the air, precipitation forms. So when we have all that water vapor here in the air, we get precipitation. Most clouds are made of ice crystals and water droplets, and these ice crystals and water droplets are a key part of how precipitation forms. Rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow are formed from those ice crystals and water droplets when the water vapor interacts with the conditions in the air. Let's take a look at rain first. So, snowflakes fall from clouds. Rain begins as snowflakes, okay? Snowflakes fall from the clouds. If the snowflakes fall through warm air, they melt and they fall as rain. So here we've got the sun out and it's heating the air, and instead of having snowfall, we have rain falling. Now next is freezing rain. So first we had the rain, okay? And this is the warmest air when we have rain coming down. Freezing rain forms when rain makes contact with the ground that is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so rain, then we've got our freezing rain, and we've got two different kinds of freezing rain. And one of them is sleet. Sleet is when snowflakes fall from the clouds and then rain forms. And if the rain at the ground is very cold, the rain might freeze to form sleet. Okay, so sleet is a type of frozen rain. Now next is snow. So we know that rain happens when the air is very warm. And then freezing rain happens when that ground is at 0 degrees. And freezing rain and sleet are both kinds of frozen precipitation, okay? So it's frozen rain. What about snow though? So here you can see the air was really warm and it starts to get a little bit colder. Snowflakes fall from clouds, and when air temperatures are below 0 degrees Celsius, the snowflakes fall to the ground as snow. So snow will fall through the cold air and reach the ground, reach our surface. And over here on your book page, you can see we have a similar picture, okay? We have some very warm air. That's where the rain begins. Then comes freezing rain and sleet. And at the end, we've got snow with the coldest air. Okay, so sleet and snow, they're sort of the coldest kind of precipitation, or the most frozen kind of precipitation when the air is at its coldest. Now, there is a relationship between water and weather. There are different kinds of bodies of water like oceans, seas, and lakes, and they all affect the weather. How? How do they affect the weather? How do these bodies of water affect the weather? Well, different kinds of water can can absorb heat, and they can release heat into the atmosphere. So different kinds of water, what can they do? They can absorb heat and release heat. They can take heat in and then give heat out back into the atmosphere. So areas near the water, they're actually warm on cold days. They're warm on cold days. And areas near the water are cool on hot days. So if you think of a time you've been to the beach on a really hot day and you jump into the water, it's been cooler. It's a little bit colder on a hot day. All right, so areas near the water are warmer on cold days and cooler on hot days. And they might get more precipitation. So there might be more rain, sleet, or snow for areas that are near the water. And we can see that in this illustration over here. Now at the end of the lesson, you should be able to do page 96 in your book. We have the answers for you in the answer key PDF for you to check. And at the end, assess yourself using the learning pit. And how did you find today's lesson? Let your teacher know as well. And thank you very much once again, and I hope you have a